Hey everyone, it's Alyce and welcome to June's book birthday party. So, we've managed to gather just under 40 books for you this month, all with June release dates. This is a bit smaller than our May book birthday party because that was getting on for, I think, 80 books. There are less coming out this month, but the majority of them are all coming out on the 1st of June, which is really interesting. It's a huge release day. So, without further ado, let's celebrate some new book releases. So on the 1st of June, we have Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Imiyide, and this is her debut novel. An Emotion of Great Delight by Tahira Mafi. Better Together by Christine Riccio, who is also known as Poland Banana Books. The Chosen and the Beautiful by Niamh Vu, who is the author of The Empress of Salt and Fortune. The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schrefer, which is probably one of my favourite covers of 2021. I just think it is so gorgeous. For the Wolf, which is Hannah Whitton's debut novel and the first book in the Wilderwood series. The Ghosts We Keep by Mason Diva, which has been described as like Adam Silvera and Bakiel Batali, and it will make you cry your eyes out, so is definitely one that I'm interested in. Grace and Glory by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the third and final book in the Harbinger trilogy. Nicola Yoon's third novel, Instructions for Dancing, of which I'm actually taking part in the blog tour for it on the 30th of June, and I'm really excited about that one, so make sure to check thebumblingblogger.co.uk for that post later in the month. Jay's Gay Agenda, which is Jason June's debut novel. The Library of the Dead by T.L. Huchu. This was actually published in the UK in February, but it is finally being published in the US on June the 1st. Rachel Griffin's debut novel, The Nature of Witches, which is all about a witch whose magic is linked to nature and it changes throughout the seasons. And it sounds amazing, and I love that cover as well, and this is another debut novel. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, who is the author of Red, White and Royal Blue. The Other Black Girl by Zakia Dalila Harris, which is another debut novel and has been described as Get Out meets The Stepford Wives, and I am here for it. Isaac Fitzsimmons' debut novel, The Passing Playbook. Trouble Girls by Julia Lynn Rubin, which has been described as for fans of Courtney Summers and Rory Powers, and is Thelma and Louise meets Riverdale. I don't know how you can mix all of those things together, but it's also about like the Me Too movement, and it sounds really interesting with all of those different aspects combined. The Unpopular Vote by Jasper Sanchez, which is another debut novel. And finally, on the 1st of June, we have The Witch King by H.E. Edgeman. I don't know why I paused. This one also sounds like it's going to be really interesting. This is about a trans witch who is facing his traumatic past, and he has to confront the royal fiancé that he left behind. And this is also a debut novel, so I'm very much tempted to pick this one up. Then we get on to the 3rd of June, in which we have The Crossing by Manjeet Mann, who is the author of Run Rebel. This is their second novel. Twitch by M.G. Leonard, which I'm actually reading in June as part of my TBR game Hooker Duck, so I will link my June TBR for you if you're interested in checking out what else we're reading this month. The Water Garden by Louise Soraya Black. I've actually already read and talked about this one in my May mid-month wrap-up, so I will link that for you as well if you're interested in hearing more about my thoughts on this one. But this follows a lady called Sarah and a boy called Finn. They're kind of drawn together, and it explores family and the English countryside and this idea of their deep connection, which is kind of unexplained. And a huge thank you to Muswell Press for sending me an advanced copy of this one. And finally, on the 3rd of June, we have What Planet Can I Blame This On by Ellie Pilcher, and this is Ellie's debut novel. Then we move on to the 8th of June, when we have Fire with Fire by Destiny Soraya, Heartbreakers and Fakers by Cameron Lund, The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, Love and Other Natural Disasters by Misa Sugaira, Of Princes and Promises by Sandhya Menon. This is the second book in the St. Rosetta's Academy book series following Of Curses and Kisses. We Can't Keep Meeting Like This by Rachel Lynn Solomon, who is the author of Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, which I am still in the middle of. And last but not least, on the 8th of June, we have The Wolf and the Woodsman, which is Ava Reed's debut. Then we move on to the 15th of June when we have Broken Web by Laurie M. Lee, which is the sequel to Forest of Souls and is the second book in the Shaman-Born series. The Layover by Lucy Walden, and Sisters of the Snake by Sasha and Serena Nanoir. On the 22nd of June we have Darling by Kay Akram, which is a Peter Pan retelling. And I have a proof that I was sent from Cassava Republic, which is Unbury Our Dead with Song by Makoma Wa Ngui. And this one is another one that I'm picking up in June, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. Then we move on to the 24th of June when we've got The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This is the 4th book in the Truly Devious series. It was originally meant to be published in April, but it was pushed back, so it's finally coming out this month. And The Things We Don't See, which is Savannah Brown's second novel. And then last but not least, on the 29th of June, we've got Eat Your Heart Out by Kelly Devos. This is described as Shaun of the Dead meets dumpling, pudding, whichever book comes first in that Julie Murphy series. But it's about like fat girls fighting zombies, and it looks amazing. And we've also got Survive the Night by Riley Sega, who is the author of Final Girls. And there you go. That is almost 40 books that are being published throughout the month of June. If there are any more that I've forgotten that you are really excited about, then as always, please leave them down in the comments. I am but one person and it's hard to gather all of the books together. Yeah, there's lots being published all the time and just so much. There's never enough time to read it all. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you would like to subscribe, we would be super duper grateful, and we really appreciate everybody who is coming along on this booktube journey with us. We'll see you again in a couple of days because we post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Oh, also, check out my bookshop.org page. I'll link it down in the description. I have an affiliate link thing and I do a list of all of the books that you can purchase in the UK through bookshop.org, which is a site that supports local and independent bookshops if you don't happen to have one near you. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in purchasing any of these, because then I'll get a little bit of income from you and I would really appreciate that. Bye! The Water Garden by Louise. No, this is the 3rd. Let's ignore that one. And last but not least, on the 3rd of June, we have What Planet Can I Blame This On by Ellie Pitcher, and this is Ellie's debut novel. Pilcher, why? Why would you do that? And Sisters of the Snake. Oh my god, why can't I say snake anymore?